All right. Okay, so we are back on our. What is our.
Elevate Strength Podcast.
Right. So we are back on our second episode of Elevate Strength Podcast. Likewise, we are always trying. What we are trying to do is to promote fitness and performance and strength training in Singapore, and we're here to just yap and talk about random things which can help inspire you to start signing up a membership in a gym and start working out. And at the same time, to help you understand more about, all the tips and tricks with regards to anything related to working out in the gym. And since we are coming into that topic, this session we're gonna be talking about an easy topic for us, since we're still easing into this whole podcast installment and stuff. So we try to get ourselves a little bit more, easier for us to just chit chat and talk about stuff that we know. And today we will be mainly talking about gym etiquette that you should try and adopt, especially at least in Singapore. So personally, I've been to many different countries and trained in their gyms before. One of the biggest difference is because of the different cultures, there is allowance between what you can or cannot do.
Right.
And of course, there are different spaces that you train at as well. Because there are, for example, powerlifting gym, there is commercial gyms, there is private studios, PTs, there is gyms that is purely just doing classes, and there are gyms that are like CrossFit, there are gyms that is air conditioned, there are gyms that are not air conditioned.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that we can, branch out and talk about and think about. But we'll just mainly start off with the usual commercial gym setup, because that is how, and that is what most places have. So when we categorize commercial gym, right? Oh yeah, we forgot to introduce ourselves. My name is Clinton and this is Goo Young. Okay, again, we come back to how most gyms set up is. So they are mostly air conditioned, at least for Singapore, right?
Yeah.
The minimum criteria for all of us in this hot country is we need to have air condition. Okay, whether or not the air condition is like blasting and it feels damn shock, or in some way or another still feeling hot, which I think some people in Elevate still think is hot, right? But because the reason why Singapore needs to have this AC is because of the hot weather, we sweat a lot, and it affects the hygiene of the place. And hygiene should be part of gym etiquette as well, right? So I feel that the main basic criteria of you as a consumer or user of the gym is you need to be mindful of your own hygiene, right? Say for example, if you to me personally, I feel that if you are coming to the gym, right, and you are sharing equipment with everybody, even though the space is nice, well sterilized and whatnot, right? In commercial gym setup, you probably need to have your own towel. And this is just my own pet peeve. You need to shower before you come to the gym.
Wow.
Let's say one of the things that I notice, right, is in the morning when people go to the gym, they don't shower because they will think that, hey, not worth what, right?
Yeah.
I come down, I train finish, then I shower.
Yeah.
Why do I need to shower? Then I train, then I shower again. Right? So that is some people's thought process.
Yeah.
And maybe who knows, is save water at home. You come to the gym and shower, and then you save everything, right? But to me, it's because you represent yourself. Right. Unless, fair enough, some people just hopo, I don't care about what other people think and whatnot. But you can do that if you own your own gym or you have your own home setup for the gym itself, right? But if you are sharing space with people, I think it's a basic etiquette for us to at least groom ourselves well before you enter the gym, so that when whoever who shares the space with you, right, will have a similar experience as you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's quite basic self-observation that you would typically have, especially for someone who is like very prone to sweating quite a bit, to bring their own towel and like what you say lah, like the whole understanding of bringing your own towel and just wiping down whatever sweat that you produce in the hot weather that is Singapore, I think is common sense. But as my partner likes to say, that common sense is not common.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if it's common sense, we won't have this topic.
Exactly. Yeah, we won't have to talk about how to teach people how to act in the gym.
There won't be tons and tons of information online when you just Google gym etiquette, right? There are so many articles for you to read about.
Yes.
And I mean, the reason why people create all these articles is because one, they might be pissed, right? They are a gym owner or they are a gym user, and they're like, wow, goddamn, I cannot tahan this person already. I gotta write this article out, at least pray that this guy will go and read it, right? So, which brings us to the topic that we want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like before everything else that we list down later, all the things that we might be mentioning are all listed down, and all this information can be found online everywhere. But it's interesting because even for me, right, gym etiquette itself, right, it's one, like you said, self-awareness and common sense. So what I do usually is I will enter the gym and I'll get a feel about what the gym is about. If the gym is like rustic, hardcore, those kind, I'll be like, oh, okay, I can be a little bit more lax, right? But let's say if I go to gyms like pure fitness, commercial gyms, AF is still considered commercial, right? I will respect the space. I will try not to leave things all around. Because there are so many equipments, there are so many people walking about. So to me, gym etiquette is based on senses. I come in, I feel the place, I sense, I watch what other people are doing first, then I try to follow. Because those people who are already there most likely have decent understanding of what the gym etiquette in different gyms, what is the criteria. But unless you are seeing a gym where everybody is just doing like crazy stuff, throwing stuff around, laying things all around, then you follow suit lah. This one I understand, right? If the infrastructure or the organization of the gym allows you to lay your things around. What I'm trying to say is, like, for example, in other countries, right, like in the US or I've been to Sweden and all these gyms, right? Yes, they have space for you to put your bags, but you can also choose to carry your bag along. Right? My understanding is because maybe all these we are not pampered by other countries, are not pampered by the security of Singapore. So you still need to hold your belongings because people might steal, right? That's number one. And number two is their space is so big. You put one bag, right, on a rack versus the whole space, right? It's like you put like a rice grain on a table, on a big table like that. You can't really see it, right? But let's say in a space like Elevate where it's like not super big, it's a private gym, it's not commercial space. You put one bag, which is your damn duffel bag, and you're a powerlifter, you put all the knee sleeve and everything, right? And you won't use it and put it inside in the bag. So you use it, right? And then you just throw it around. So it's just a huge pile of mess on the floor. And let's say if you put it beside the rack, right? Now, right, people can't walk about. And it will be a incredibly eyesore. Right? It will just look like crap. And then, of course, for your own convenience, right? Now, it affects other people because other people cannot walk properly. Other people will need to wait, move about from your equipment and all that. And what's worse is if not just one, you meet your friends, three of them, create a campfire of bags. That will be crazy, man.
It's like a walking on landmines kind of situation.
Yeah, correct.
I think let's maybe circle back into commercial gyms, right? I think part of the gym etiquette in a large space where there's gonna be a lot of people and it's after work and it's packed as heck. Probably the other commonsensical gym etiquette is to not hog the equipment lah, right? If you're gonna be using equipment, first of all, don't be taking up so much space, like what you say. Don't sit there and then use your phone. But I think on the other hand, what needs to be understood is that yes, you can sit on the equipment and rest there if nobody else is using. But I think for someone who wants to use the gym equipment, it is not unfounded to want to ask the person if I can share the equipment. Meaning like it's a human interaction, right? Where one person is waiting, sitting there, like, you know, using his phone, and one person wants to ask. I think it's proper gym etiquette to be okay with okay sharing the equipment and okay to ask the question of sharing the equipment. So I think it is.
I think there's a problem there.
Yeah.
I think Singaporeans are shy to ask.
Correct.
And sometimes Singaporeans don't want to share.
Correct.
And it might not be Singaporeans also. It might be people from, you know, other countries.
Correct.
Not specifying who, but their culture is, and their understanding of gym etiquette is, okay, I use finish and I share because of the sanitization, because of the cleanliness.
Correct.
Because let's say if I use, my job, what I understood is I will use finish and then I'll clean so that other people can use, and it's a clean equipment. If they share, maybe there will be, you know, sharing of whatever germs and bacteria. And here's the thing, right? Is communication. But I think the problem with Singapore is people are too shy to talk. And too shy to ask. Because everyone is just plugged in, right? But honestly, right, I will still be a little bit intimidated. For example, I see a goddamn jack bodybuilder, right, doing their chest press machine, and I want to use, like, I will think twice. I'm like, okay, I think let him use finish first. But then, of course, if I really, really need to use it because of time constraint, I will try to ask.
Correct.
And I believe all these people who are already dedicated, right, to the sport, you see that, okay, they are rather built, they are very committed. You see their face, right? They are not messing about, they're not playing with their phones and whatnot. They're just pure training. These people are more than happy to share.
Correct.
Because they have already understood discipline, right? Because they went through the hardship of discipline nutrition, discipline training, this and that. So they will they have already learned to respect people and understand people's needs and wants. So one thing to take away, to bring back to your like what you're trying to say, right, is I think it's important for us to not be in a space where you are just too shy to talk to people or don't want to talk to people. So if you are new to this whole industry, right, the easiest way to ask a person, right, is not, hey, when are you going to be done? Because to ask gym users, right, we will feel that, what you rushing me or what, right? I think the easiest way to put it, right, the first thing you should say, right, is not to introduce yourself, but to just say, okay, how many more sets do we have? So that's the first thing. So usually they will, okay, so if they give you a number, for example, like 4 sets, it means that more or less they are willing to share already. If they come in, right, you ask them, how many more sets do we have, right? And then they say that I have a lot more. Okay, then you know that this guy probably just leave him alone. Because if you if he say I have a lot more, and then if he say I have a lot more, and then you say, can I share? He's gonna be pissed,
annoyed.
So if he or she actually shared with you the amount of sets that they have, say from 3 to 4, right? More or less, he or she is more inclined to share with you. Then the next question you should come in is, can I share with you? Then don't be too offended if he says no right? If he says or she says okay, then feel free to share with the weights. And let's say if you are using a machine, right? One thing that I will do is I will pay attention to what the weight of the person is using, and also how the setup is. Like, for example, I'm doing a leg extension, maybe the height is different and whatnot from mine, right? I will just, because the first thing you do is when you say, can we share? They say, then he or she will step out, and then you step into the you sit onto the machine. First few, we sit on the machine, you gotta understand, okay, this is the person's setup. This is the weight, 50 kg, I remember. Okay, never mind. I plug into my own one, I set up my own one, I do finish my set, I put back whatever he's using. So like that, right, you don't even need to talk, right? Okay, I'm also quite shy to talk. I don't know why I'm doing this podcast anyway, so I'm also quite shy to talk. So but I try to do all these small actions to first, minimize interaction, and second, create a respect for myself that, hey, I know that I'm sharing with you,
Yeah.
so I will try and remember what you do.
It sounds like it's like a mini thank you. It's like it's like a non-conversational thank you to the person.
Correct. It's like a gesture for me to honor your action of sharing with me.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
I think these are some of the things to us, right? Is very common sense.
Yeah.
But I think to new gym goers, right, they are not very sure about what to do. So most of the time I will see them, right? Because I used to train at AF for a year. I just used to see people standing down there and just waiting. And then I'm just sitting on the chest press machine. I know that he won.
Yeah. But
I mean, I won't walk there, hey bro, you want to do chest press? Maybe he don't want it, right? So I don't want to go ahead and sway myself. So I just stand there, like, okay, let me just quickly finish my set so that this guy can come in and use it. However, if everybody just try and ask a little bit, right? Maybe we can have a better experience together. Not like start making friends or whatnot, but now I don't need to rush,
Yeah.
I can run one set, then you one set, do until them going, right? One set, and everybody, then I push you push me, those kind. And the pushing is like low key one. It's not like, hey bro, so light, do more.
Yeah.
No, it's more like, oh, you do this play, I also want to try. So these kind of things. So this will make the whole experience in the gym much better. This is interesting. I feel that like coming into this topic, might be some things that people don't talk about online and in the articles itself. Yeah.
Okay.
So coming into this, right, we are mostly talking about commercial gyms. Commercial gym wise setup is mostly pretty okay because most of the users tend to be using the machine section. And the machine sections, unless it's plate loaded, the rest of it, let's say if you are just pin loaded, right, there won't be any means where you need to reset the equipment.
Right.
So what does resetting the equipment means? Resetting the equipment means, say you are doing a plate loaded pull down. Okay, after you finish, right, the resetting of the plate means you need to take out the plate and put back to its original position. Now here's the problem with the commercial gym etiquette. As compared to, maybe I'm too used to Elevate's etiquette. Commercial gym etiquette, right, as far as I know, most users don't really pull back the weights.
Right.
Okay, that's point number one. They don't pull back the weights after doing the pull down machine. They just leave whatever rack is on there.
Yeah.
Because it's convenient, right? I walk away, drink water, forget to pull back, go home. Right, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the second point, right, is when they load the plates back into the weight tree.
Oh, it's different.
Different one. How do I call it? It's like freaking donuts, right?
Yes.
So, for those seasoned members and users, right, at least what I call the OGs, right? Because when I first started out lifting,
oh dear.
let's just wait it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so when I first started out lifting, I started at Active FTSG, right? Active SG is cheap, $1.50.
Yeah.
And of course, I make all these mistakes. And I got sort of reprimanded by all the uncles and aunties over there. Those people were brutal, but they were nice people because after that they will tell you, 不是这样的, it's like that one, it's like that one. Pull back, must pull back properly one. So moving forward to the current generation, right? It has been, even though it's still, people are still talking about it. Hey, put the waist back, right? There are still a lot of people who just leave the plates lying there. The problem with not resetting the load, right, is, for example, let's say I'm a male, I do leg press. Okay, leg press I can load a lot of weights. Okay, because shock, right? Wow, bum, you go feel them good, right? I see you 8 plate leg press, and then side eye you see people watching, damn shock, you know. So after you finish, right, you just walk away and hope people remember, this is the guy who do 8 plate. That's not what you should do. I will remember you. This is the CB, right? Who never keep the weight.
Yeah.
So why you need to keep the weights, right, is because let's say another person come in, right, and their strength level is entirely different from you.
Right. You have to put back.
Have to take out. So imagine I see 8 plates on the leg press already, and I need to take out. Then I need to do the equipment. Then I think I don't want to do already. I'd rather go and do leg extension. Now this guy, right, won't have a good experience because I come in dedicated. I also want to try 8 plate. But now before I do the 8 plate, right, I need to pull back first. What the hell, right? Yeah. So, and to put it into extremes, right, let's say I finish my leg press, I didn't keep the weights. So all the 8 plates are there, or 10 plates are there. Okay? And then a lady walk in and she wants to, new, very scared. But the program say I need to do leg press. I want thunder quads, I want break watermelon, those kind. Yeah. Then they cannot. Because taking out the 20 kilo plates, right, is actually very tedious for them. Yeah. Once they take out already, they shag already, lower back pain already, everything cannot do already. Right? So for the sake of other people, actually gym etiquette is all about for the sake of other people. Yeah. Because we don't go to the topic that there are actually people who don't give a shit about anybody, right? Yeah. And that's very selfish lah. But let's say you're a normal human being. You live in a society where you coexist with all other billions and billions of humans. We need to care about what other people needs to do, right? So it's very important to take out the weights. And then the weights, right, you cannot put in like a donut like that. 20 kg, 2.5 kg, 20 kg, 2.5 kg. Because again, let's say a lady who cannot pull out a 20 kg plate can only do 2.5. Obviously, if I cannot lower out a 20 kg plate, it means that I need the 2.5, I need the small plates, right? Yeah. To build the progression and slowly train. Yes. I can't even I can't even take it out because the 20 kg is like stacked inside. I see. Right. So it's like crazy to think about that. So this is what I always think about when I see all the donuts in commercial gyms. I'll be like, wow. Imagine somebody needs to use this. This is gonna be in deep trouble, man. Yeah.
Okay. I think for one, I'm not talking a lot because I don't train in a commercial gym. The only place I train is here. So there's not really much for me to say. But I think based on my past experiences, when I used to train at Fitness First, very early in the morning, I think people are generally quite nice, but I guess there's a small, very, very, very small percentage of males that I have observed that will make, I don't want to say obnoxious, but they will be excessive in their effortful grunts, I will call it. Like, yeah. I think maybe you have experience in your commercial gym as well, but I think part of that gym etiquette is that you are in a space with a lot of people, right? Be it another person or be it with 2 other person, you are still in a space with another person. And I guess if you want to make it a conducive environment, a comfortable environment for people to train, not saying that you can't train hard, not saying that you can't grunt or anything, but it shouldn't be excessive to a point where not every rep from the first rep you're like, ah! Like I've literally seen and heard, heard people from the get-go, from the first rep, they start. Yeah, I don't want to say screaming but they really raise their voice quite. Yeah, like I think it makes things a bit too, as a newcomer, for example, and it makes it a bit intimidating, like you say.
And turn off.
Correct, and especially if you're a female, you step in and then the first thing you hear is like this male dude.
This sweaty muscle tank top guy showing nipples.
Correct, and then like
dirty.
Every single rep is like a scream, it's got a little grunt going on. Yeah, okay. I think that's just one of the pet peeves I have.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, honestly, for a matter of fact, right, these people who felt the need to grunt, right? Yes, they are trying to work very hard. But to be honest, I think they also want some sort of attention. I rarely see a lady taking a 1 kg, 2.5 or 3 kg doing lateral raise and moaning and just grunting. And because here's the thing, let's talk about straightforward reality here. Like, men likes to attract a lot of attention also, right? Yeah. And they felt that maybe the gym is a dominant place for them, so they want to exert their dominance. Like peacock. I think this is the problem with men. I'm not saying that I am not guilty of it. I don't grunt every rep. Maybe on the last rep.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yes.
I don't do okay, so but I do make all these like gestures in competitions.
Right? Correct.
They might be also afraid. why that's why they grunt. They're grunting because they are making just making a gesture that they are fearful about whether or not they can make the weight. So after they
Wow,
they feel the satisfaction because I did it. So it's not really, it's quite a subconscious kind of action. But I don't believe that every rep you're scared. If every rep you're scared, you must have do already. It's not a right way to do. Yeah. So it's true what you say is quite sensible. In a commercial gym kind of setup, right? Grunting is not allowed, but it's not necessary when it's not necessary in a way that you cannot, how should I put it? Like you cannot keep doing it.
Yeah. It's an unspoken rule in which it doesn't stop you from training hard. That's not the point. But it's just that you need to be aware of the surroundings that you're in. If like what you say, if every single rep from the first set gets you to grunt, means either you are really, really putting a crap ton of effort into that set from the first set, which is again questionable programming, right? And or you really are trying to attract some level of attention from other people, right? The thing is, no gym in the world will say that there's no grunting unless you're like Planet Fitness America, where if there's a lunk alert, you one sound and then you're like the alarm will ring and then you'll be escorted out of the gym because it is a place where
it's a library.
It's a library, yeah. And I guess that kind of gym would be very inviting for people who want to take their gym fitness very gently, I guess.
And coming to that, I feel that, say, you can't eliminate these people, right? Yeah. So there will be people who likes to grunt and they feel very satisfied doing it when they train. Okay, fair enough. If I'm a gym user and I see that, right, what I will personally just think about is, okay, I don't get too offended. Okay, first of all, it's not my space. First of all, it's a shared space. And he's at that corner. Yeah. Unless it's right in my face, grunting and saliva spitting at me, then okay, shit is about to happen. But let's say he's one corner doing his own stuff. Step one, I will not go to the corner. Step two, I find my earpiece, I get plugged in. I find an alternative which I can train away from him so that I can still enjoy my experience in the gym.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, obviously commercial gym squat racks are limited, and as a powerlifter, I like to use the squat rack. But usually I don't train squat in commercial gyms lah. But for example, gyms squat is crowded. Okay, so I will try to wait it out, or I will share. Okay. If not, that's only the two options now. Let's say if I'm in a setup where I'm not doing powerlifting, I'm just doing bodybuilding. Bodybuilding or aesthetic or whichever fitness goals to try and lose weight, gain more muscle and whatnot. There are many alternatives. Like for example, today I need to use the overhead press machine. But the overhead press machine, somebody is using it. Okay, can I substitute it with dumbbell overhead press? Right. Yeah, so this is the next topic. Maybe we can talk about it the next time. But circling back to gym etiquette, right? Commercial gym, what else can we talk about? Maybe perverts.
Which is I guess the unfortunate fact that typically is the women that are the victims. In the sense, I mean,
sometimes the guys are the victims.
Oh gosh,
the guys and the guys, some.
Okay, that I didn't know. I mean, as long as further down the road, there's another gym that has had. It's on the news. I'm not pointing it out or anything, but it came out on the news where there was a female. It was a female in the toilet, and then she was apparently filmed. Right, and then of course there was a big hoo-ha that happened. And I think this is not uncommon in gyms, and it's very unfortunate that majority of the cases that get affected are women, and then there's a small minority which is men on men. But I don't know, like have you had any experience in this?
I got eyes lah.
You see, you observe.
I got zoomed. What's that called? Whatever, like the Cyclops eyes, some men will look at me and then I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I guess that's what ladies felt lah.
Right, I see.
How should I put it? But the thing is, like I said, this is a shared space, right? And we all need to respect each other. First of all, if you don't want to be too, if you don't want to be the center of attention, then don't make yourself look like you want to be a center of attention. For example, like for me, when I go to the gym, sometimes I like to wear tank top. And the fact that I'm wearing tank top, right? Okay, at least for me, I don't know about the girls, but I'll just be very, very truthful. Is that when I wear the tank top, I first is to impress myself. I look in the mirror and in my head, wow, damn jack like that. Then the second thing is, I also want people to look at me so that I feel good about myself.
Right.
Okay, so this is the truth. Maybe I'm just a vain pop or whatnot. But this is all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people to attack me or sexually harass me. And this is all very, very uncalled for.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own choices. Everybody can do whatever they want. The ladies can dress however they want.
Yeah.
And this does not give the green light for the perverts to attack them.
Of course.
Yeah. Because ultimately, they are dressing, if they have the same thought process as me, is okay, I want to look at myself and I feel good. Damn, my ass is good.
Yeah.
Right? Second is I want my friends, probably just more girlfriends, to say that, you know,
You look good.
Yeah, I'm look good. Hey, where you buy these ties? It's very flattering and all that stuff. And basically, they're just the mindset is very pure, right? I think in a gym setup, right? Okay, very, very rare. We don't go out dress up and try to, like a peacock, try to attract other sex.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the intention of people in the gym. So this means, right, you cannot do anything that tries to push into their own personal space. And needless to say, filming people showering is totally uncalled for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's an offense.
Yeah.
I mean, in some countries you do that, right, you'll be fucking bad to death. Right. So fortunately you are still in Singapore, you go to jail, come back, you get humiliated on social media, but you still come back, you still can be a normal human being. People give you a second chance.
Yeah.
But the person who got filmed, right, is scarred forever.
Yeah.
So please don't just do this kind of thing. Okay? But as a gym owner myself, right, I feel that it's also our responsibility to make sure that things like that don't happen.
Yeah.
I know instances that these incidents have happened, right? I will start to think about why it happened, rather than it happened normal right?
Yeah.
You know, guy just pervert no? Then go and ticopate this girl, or the guy will blame the girl saying that they dress like that. Of course, my cock cannot shut down stand Then I think with my dick, then I go and do something stupid. So you're just blaming, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's okay. I try to understand why, and the problem is not and how to prevent it.
Yeah.
And I've talked about why, which is the guys are just not case, and I will talk about how to prevent it. So first of all, I need to look at the toilet. Okay, so the door maybe is not high enough, so people can do stuff like that.
Or from the bottom.
Yeah, or from the bottom, or not enough CCTV to scare all the guys off or whatnot. Of course, we don't put CCTV inside the toilet, or you have to at least put a giant right in your face kind of camera outside the door, so that people will always think twice before they do something stupid. One of my friends' gym in Bali, which is the bar, I shouldn't. Okay, so got similar instances as well.
Oh.
Yeah, which is damn unfortunate. But I feel that how the owner dealt with it is really, really good, because the police didn't want to take action because there weren't enough evidence. So what the owner did, right, respectfully, right, is of course to try and help out the victim as much as possible, and went on to social media to expose this guy. So instead of him trying to protect his brand, right, because if this blow up, right, the whole Bali will know that, hey, this gym is the one of people film, right? But instead of trying to protect his brand,
Yeah.
he protect the victim
Mm.
and do what's right. And I feel that doing what's right, by exposing and making sure there's awareness there that, hey, don't do this kind of stupid thing, right? It's inappropriate. It helps him and his brand as well. Yeah, so this is a very honorable thing and a very respectable thing that I felt he did. Yeah, but thankfully for us in Elevate, our toilet is like sealed shut, so
Yes,
there's no way,
there's
no way people can peeping tom or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the pervert end.
Yes.
Let's talk about
Our gym?
what's our gym, our own observation.
Wow, I have so many. I think the first one, I think when we talk about gym, I mean Elevate, right? Like you say, we don't have, our space is not big. And bags being put everywhere becomes a landmine, and then once it gets crowded, everyone puts their plate, they put their plate over the floor and whatnot. But I think the number one thing that irks me with some of the members, some of the walk-ins, is that they don't put back stuff. Number one thing is the foam roller.
Oh, yeah.
Every time when I come in the morning at 6:30 a.m., I will literally need to make one round around the gym, going back different places to put the foam roller back to the position here.
Yeah.
Sure, it's the lightest thing. It's not like plates or anything, but I think it's just basic lah. We provide you free equipment to use, right? And then for you to release yourself and whatnot. The least I think you could do is just put it back where you took it from, right? I think, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. Like even the lightest things people don't want to put back. I think the next pet peeve that I have is basically, to me, the biggest pet peeve, right, is just things lying around. I don't like things lying around.
Right.
Like, for me, even when I train at other people's powerlifting gym, say they have a space for me to put my bag beside the gym equipment, like the squat rack. After I finish, right, I will stack my belt on top of my bag, so that the surface area that I covered
It's a minimal,
in the mesh, right, is like it's very minimal, and it's controlled. Like my wrist strap also do finish, put back.
Yeah.
And then just make sure that everything is organized. Then, of course, for us as powerlifters, when we train in all these powerlifting sports, performance-oriented setup, we have our own shoes, like training shoes and normal shoes. So I will need to understand, okay, what does the gym require? For example, okay, the gym requires us to put our normal daily going out sandals or shoe in a specific place while we will train with our training shoes inside. Then I'll honor that and I'll respect that. I'm not lying shoes all around. It might be our fault to not enforce at the start, which creates a habit for them. But I feel that this is you just think about it, right? You go to people's house, okay? You anyhow put your shoe, you anyhow put your belongings, and then you expect them to not be pissed about it. Okay, so this is how I feel lah. You come to my house, my gym, you lay things all around. You don't respect my space. I'll get pissed lah.
Yeah, of course.
I'll say, yeah, dude, what the hell are you doing? Put the stuff back into its original spot. Yeah. Back then we used to face problems where candy wrappers are left all around. Wow, that was
the litter.
That was the biggest tilt.
Yes.
Right, so there was a period where we got so tilt because people just leave street wrappers all around, which is crazy, right? Come on, man.
Like it's your own rubbish.
You know what I will do? I will go to a house, I will eat candy, I'll throw the candy on the floor. How about that? the candy wrapper on the floor. That's not cool, right?
Yeah.
You just need to. There's a rubbish bin for you. Just throw it back into the rubbish bin. And to us, all the gruntings and whatnot is okay.
It's normal,
Yeah, it's normal. But like we said, we shouldn't do it all the time. Only PRs and whatnot.
I think for I think another thing about Elevate that is probably unique compared to other gyms is that we have calibrated plates. Right? And then we allow deadlifting on calibrated plates.
Yeah.
And I think one of the interesting things that you might not know is that calibrated plates make a lot of noise.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of rattling, a lot of thumping, a lot of literally metal on wood smashing kind of sounds. That can get a bit overwhelming at times, right? And probably one of the biggest pet peeve also with some of the people who deadlift here is that it's not that they are dumping the bar. Of course, the number one rule is that you don't dump the bar when you're deadlifting here. But there's this particular type of deadlift or technique of deadlifting where you stand up the bar and then you hop back and then you
just
sort of throw the bar into the floor.
Yeah.
And that just makes extra noise, extra thump, extra vibration on the floor.
Yeah, now we need to change the wood because the wood is like having bumps because of your actions.
So it's like, yes, you already got the lift, and yes, you are, according to the rule, you're guiding the bar down, but I think it tends to be a bit too excessive lah. Like, because you have your toes so goddamn wide out, and then you will have to hop in and then throw the bar. I think that's a bit.
Yeah.
I find that a bit annoying, if anything. Yeah.
I agree lah. Because to me, it's any act of trying to attract attention pisses me off lah sometimes.
Yeah, I think that all started with. I can't be pinpointing, right? But it seemed like it started with like some powerlifting influencer out there, and then like everyone thinks that this guy's so cool.
Come on, bro. Yeah. I saw like influencers on Instagram, right? Actually, they aren't really influencers. They are more like TikTok and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And the younger generations. Oh shit! I saw this reel whereby people are telling him not to swear in the gym and not to dump the weights in the gym.
Right.
And then in part of the reel, right, he just commented, I want to do whatever I want because it's my life.
Wow.
And then he's always real of throwing shit on and then screaming and
in Singapore?
No, not in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
In overseas. Okay. But then this is crazy. You cannot do that lah. You don't create a persona and give people a bad impression about and stereotype and change the stereotype of powerlifters.
Yes.
Powerlifters back then, we were grunters, we were like hardcore, heavy metal, train in a cage kind of stuff. But over the years, right, we have transitioned ourselves into more professional.
Civilized.
Yeah, civilized, right? People don't, at least more people don't associate us as those big mustache, bald-headed, big belly kind of lifters. We are more like, a bunch of younger millennials, right? Well-dressed, well-groomed, colorful stuff, full kit, Singapore, all these.
Yeah.
And we try to look professional because after all, unless it's a sport where it's nasty, but even for contact sports like rugby, right, they groom themselves really well.
Of course, yeah.
They look so cool walking out of the field, from the locker to the field and whatnot. So don't change the stereotype of powerlifters. We are all trying to create a better influence for people to we are trying to promote the sport. Right?
It's just that there are always gonna be that few bad apples that harms the impression of powerlifters. But I think possibly building on that point, if this particular TikToker goes about saying that I can do what I want, and then imagine another person, another kid of that similar age range develops this idea that, I also can do what I want in the gym. And then that multiplies into a freaking population of kids who essentially go into the gym and say that I can do whatever I want and I will not be reprimanded for it.
Yeah.
I can say for sure, if that shit happens in Elevate, that shit will not fly. You're going to be tossed out of the gym so fast. Because I think probably more in the Singapore context, there was a certain saga with another gym with another member whatever walk-in that they had. I think if you remember, the dude was squatting and he didn't clip his plate.
Yeah.
And what happened was 75 kilos worth of plate went one way and 75 kilos worth of plate went the other way. Of course, as a gym owner, sure, the safety of the individual is the top priority. Did this person get harmed? But because Elevate is not manned 24/7 and there are potentially pockets of time where we only have one person training, right? And which can be, risky and all. But I think at the bare minimum, part of the gym etiquette is that to clip the weights, right? Particularly for squat, because if anything, that is by far the most unstable movement, because you will need to stand and step out. There's some level of twisting and some level of like shifting weight here and there. Sure, bench, I am guilty of not clipping my plates because technically, like, what's there in the knee? It's so linear, it's so up and down. And same for deadlift, like, it's not necessary to have to clip the plates, but you clip the plates so that the plates don't fall out.
Yeah, and
right?
they don't create all the clinking clanking sound.
Sound, yes. So yeah, part of the gym etiquette, at least in Elevate, clip your damn plates when you're squatting. Yeah.
Actually, no, doesn't. The point is not just for Elevate. I think
For all
everywhere
places,
you have to do the same. For squat, we're going back to the squat point, right? I think one of the gym etiquette, or not really gym etiquette, but more like gym sense, is when you are taking out the plates, right? You don't take out the whole stack from one side first.
Oh yes.
That one is very, very important because you don't want to, you don't want to be the clown that everybody remember. This is the guy, right? Who unload the plate one side and everybody the other side just flip over and hit the other person or destroy the rack. Yeah. So one plate at a time, even though it's a chore.
Yeah.
Okay, one plate at a time. If you can squat so heavy, means you can pull back the waist properly.
Correct.
You cannot be the guy who squat unless you got some personal butler or whatever. You squat finish, ask somebody to take out.
Correct.
That's the best. I also wish I have, but I don't have. Right. So what I'm gonna do, I have to suck it up and put the plates back properly.
Correct.
Yeah, one at a time.
Yeah.
And that will put the whole environment much more safer lah. Yeah. So gym etiquette wise, more or less, I would say for commercial gym and for private gyms, at least for Elevate wise, we don't have that much of a difference. But the margin for us, right, to allow things to happen is more. Like for example, we let them dump the plates for deadlift. Not say drop, but put down. With some sound is fine. We even let them use the chalk. So we're just trying to sell Elevate now. We allow you all to use the chalk. But in a concise space, you use finish, clean it up, clean your hands first before you use the equipment. You don't lay trails of chalk all around the place. Yeah, and then,
I think thinking as to going back to your point, right? I think Elevate, I'm going to your past point at least. Elevate has three combo racks, and probably the biggest appeal of the combo rack is that it allows for very quick height change. Right? And then like you say, like most of the time we will have our members share racks with one another. And then going back to that whole mini unconversational thank you to say to your partner or your friend or your fellow member that you have here is to help them change the rack height. Back to like if we share squat rack, I will literally feel very, very paiseh because
he's 2%.
Yes, you will need to jack up twice and there's weight on the bar already. It's not say very convenient lah. Yeah, but I think it's like a mini thank you for sharing with me that I go in and I go and change the rack height to my rack height. That kind of thing.
Yeah, and let's say if you are sharing the equipment, you have to, open your mouth and ask what weight you want so that we can, load one side each and then the whole experience can be faster.
Correct. Yeah.
One of the pet peeves that I have is, say you finish your set and you're filming. Okay, so the filming part is also another point that we can talk about. So the filming, you can film your set to monitor your technique and upkeep with your training flow. But if you're sharing with somebody, right, make sure that, let's say if it's his turn, you help him with all the changing a rack and the weight plates first.
Right.
Then you look at your video. You don't just stand up and then be in your own world, look at your phone and then just walk away. I think it's a little bit, it's quite inappropriate.
Yeah.
Of course, in a commercial gym setup, you might not be able to do that because it depends on the how the gym management wants it to be. Because you are still ultimately training in a space where the demographic of people is very different. Some people just are not comfortable to be filmed. So let's say you put your camera in a setup where you wide angle everything, everybody's just gonna walk by, right? You could just make people uncomfortable, which at Elevate there are people who do that.
Yes.
But thankfully, most of us in Elevate are so used to the camera
filming,
all around already. And the interesting thing about training in gyms like Elevate, right, is you will see a lot of cameras lying all around.
Yeah. Tripods. A lot of tripods.
Because they are filming their training. Right?
Yes.
So it's a unspoken, not rule, unspoken still rule of not walking past their camera when they are doing the weight.
Yes.
If they, let's say they are still, putting on their reps
That's
and whatnot,
fine.
you still can walk past them. But when they are training, just let them have the video capturing every detail of their set first.
Yeah.
Then you can walk past them.
Correct.
Or you can walk behind the camera. But users itself, let's say, some people don't know, right? And they just walk past it. Please don't get pissed.
Yeah.
Right? People get pissed over walking past the camera, and then I don't know why your life is so hard. Why you want to make your life so hard? Why you want to get angry about everything?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that motivates you to be stronger lah. I don't know how that. Okay, I used to do that, but I don't know how that can help you in your progress. By being angry means your next set will be better, man. Not like that, what?
Correct.
Yeah, so you don't need to be pissed about that. Just understand that people have different understanding of things. You don't even need to confront them as well.
Correct.
Maybe you just walk your way around it.
Yeah.
Put an angle where there's no way you will walk past.
Correct.
Okay, already, what? Then you don't need to be angry, what? Right?
I think the anger issue is also, you need to understand that there's nothing personal.
Yeah.
It's not, I didn't walk in front of the camera out of spite. Like more often than not, it's because I didn't see at all.
I didn't see.
I think people take it so personally to the point whereby, like you say, like get pissed for what?
Yeah.
I don't understand also.
Yeah.
What else do we?
I think more or less talk about
of
gym
things,
etiquette wise,
yeah lor.
we are more or less there. And I think last but not least, you just have to be nice to each other.
Yeah, be decent human beings.
Yeah, be decent human beings. Be considerate. Try to make sure that whatever you are doing, you are not obstructing anybody. I think one of the pet peeves that most commercial gym people have is they like to do their exercises right in front of the dumbbell rack. So for example, let me pick up a 3 kg dumbbell to do a damn Lu Xiaojun roundabout Y raises. Now you're taking so much space, right? And people want to take the plates, take the dumbbell. Like, should I take? Should I don't take? Those kinds. So let's say if you're using a dumbbell, take the dumbbell, move away from the dumbbell rack so that people can still use the millions of kilos on the dumbbell rack. These are also another thing that we can listeners or viewers can take note. If you are new to the gym, right, don't need to be too intimidated, and you also don't need to be too talkative. Doesn't mean that you listen to our podcast, you go around, hey, how many more sets? You just go and throw everybody, assuming that you want to use the set. In a gym etiquette, especially in commercial gym setups, it is quite rare for people to do a giant set. For example, if there's a training program for you to do a giant set. Okay, first of all, machine chest press. Straight away move to dumbbell overhead press. Straight away move to lateral raise. Then you do some burpees, like one circuit kind of training. Right? In commercial gym setup, is usually very inconducive. Because now you're hogging 5 racks in one time. So if you're hogging 5 setups in one time, right, other people who wants to use the equipment will feel that, hey, you are a very selfish person. So you should try and work your training around the setup that you have in the gym as well. For example, big commercial gym, nobody, you manage to find a 6 a.m. time slot, nobody, you can go and use it like a playground. Okay, do it. Fine, all good. But let's say if you come in a setup where it's 6 p.m., people all end work, okay, the gym is like rather crowded. Okay, so you might need to program your training so that it is more conducive for not just yourself and also everybody. Because I say if you need to do a giant set and the gym is damn crowded, you come in peace again. Again, I don't understand why people like to be angry. It'll make life difficult for them. Wow, shit, I need to do giant set. The gym so crowded lah. I hate this gym lah. This gym sucks lah. All this. Come on, man. Just change your program, right? Yeah. So these kind of things lah. So. Yeah, I think the bottom line of this whole 1 hour long conversation is mostly about how to 做人 how to be a human being.
In the gym.
If you are new, right, first just scan the area first. Okay, scan the area and look at what other people are sort of doing.
Yeah.
And then you can get a glimpse of how to respect the space. Yeah, it's like hard to say that. To me, if you talk about normal commuting, go to take MRT and stuff, right, there are still a lot of people who just no awareness, right? They just stand in front of the thing and whatnot. Just don't be those kind of people. Okay, you go in, you be aware of, okay, there is people doing this thing, there's people doing this thing. Okay, this is available. Let me go and use that one first, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All good. So I think, do you have anything else to add on?
No, actually, I think part of the previous video that I completely missed out is that we didn't do any ads. But I think part of doing the podcast is to market the gym, right? So if you're looking to get stronger and you want to learn how to do some barbell movements, we've got a basic strength course, 5 sessions 1-to-1 to teach you how to do a barbell squat, overhead press, bench press, and deadlift. If you're interested to find out, let us know.
Yeah, and I think one of the main gym etiquette, right, is in order to make sure that everybody's training experience, right, is good, right? You cannot go in and do stuff that doesn't look right, or doesn't feel right, or doesn't feel safe.
Right.
Because let's say I come in, I'm supposed to do a leg press. I don't know what the hell am I doing. Some other users are looking at you and thinking that, okay, this guy's knee's gonna break. Or this guy's squat is like, wow, the spine is gonna break.
Yeah.
So one of the key gym etiquette, right, before we end this off, right, is also to know what you're doing. Okay, you don't go in and try and murder yourself.
Right.
Which is why we are selling the basic strength course. Alright, till then I'll see you again on episode 3. We're not sure what we want to talk about yet, but
We'll find out.
You'll find out. Stay tuned.
Bye-bye.
Well, nice ads, yeah.
Yes. I was like,